Ada thought the most terrifying part of her arranged marriage was living with a stranger, until she pried open the locked box beneath his bed and realized the truth. Her quiet, gentle husband isn't a nobody. He is a man hiding from a past violent enough to burn their entire world to ash. Hey there, pour a cup of tea, get comfy, and let your heart listen. The story's about to start. Welcome to Tales Vibe, where laughter and lessons flow together. If you love a good story, don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more tales every week, and please tell us where you're watching from in the comments. We'd love to know where our story family is tuning in from. Ada Okri was 20 years old, and she had learned early how to keep quiet. In Enugu, people noticed women who talked too much, and they punished girls who dreamed too loud. Ada had dreams, but she kept them inside her chest where no one could touch them. She lived with her parents in a small family house. Her mother, Mama Okri, was gentle and tired. Her father, Pa Okri, was proud but broken by debt. Ada was the first child, and because of that, responsibility followed her like a shadow. Every morning, Ada helped her mother with chores. She did not complain. When she sang, she did it softly so no one would tell her to stop. She believed life could still be kind if one stayed patient enough. Ada believed in love. Not the loud type people talked about, but the quiet one that came with respect. She wanted a husband who would see her, not use her. She wanted peace. That was all. Pa Okri had not slept well for many weeks. Ada noticed it. His face was always tight, his voice short. Men came to the house often. They talked in low tones. When Ada entered the room, they stopped talking. One evening, Pa Okri called Ada to sit down. He did not look at her face. Ada, he said, you are no longer a child. Ada felt her heart beat faster. She waited. There is a man, her father continued. He has agreed to marry you. Ada's mouth went dry. I don't know him, she said carefully. You will know him after marriage, Pa Okri replied. Ada looked at her mother. Mama Okri's eyes were wet, but she said nothing. Ada wanted to ask questions. She wanted to scream. She wanted to run. But she had been trained to obey. Why? Ada finally asked. Pa Okri stood up. This marriage will solve many problems. That was all he said. That night, Ada did not sleep. She sat quietly and thought about her life. No one had asked what she wanted. No one cared that she was afraid. She felt like something that could be handed over. She pressed her hand against her chest and whispered a prayer. Not for escape, but for strength. Ada did not know the name of the man she would marry yet. She did not know his face or his heart. But she knew one thing clearly. Her life was about to change forever. Morning came without answers. Ada moved through the house like a visitor, careful not to draw attention. Her eyes were swollen from the night before, but no one asked why. Mama Okri avoided her gaze, and Pa Okri left the house early. By afternoon, Ada was sent to call her father from where he sat with two men under the mango tree nearby. She knew those men. They had been coming often. Their faces were hard, their voices sharp. When Ada arrived, Pa Okri stood up. Go inside, he told the men. I will call you. He turned to Ada. Sit. Ada obeyed. The man you will marry is coming tomorrow, he said. Her fingers tightened around her wrapper. What is his name? Emeka. Nothing else followed. No praise. No warning. He is not rich, Pa Okri added quickly, as if that was important. But he is willing. Willing. The word hit Ada like a slap. Why me? She asked. Pa Okri sighed. Because you are my daughter. Ada understood then. This was not about love or choice. This was about debt. She did not need him to explain further. That evening, Mama Okri finally spoke. She sat beside Ada and rubbed her back slowly. My daughter, she said, forgive me. Ada wanted to cry into her mother's lap like a child, but she held it in. Is he bad? Ada asked. Mama Okri shook her head. They say he is quiet. He keeps to himself. That night, Ada met Emeka. He came with one man. He wore simple clothes and stood straight. He did not smile much. His eyes were calm but distant. Emeka greeted Pa Okri respectfully. When he turned to Ada, he nodded once. I will take care of her, he said. His voice was low and steady. Ada searched his face, looking for cruelty, pride, or hunger. She found none of those. Only silence. The agreement was made quickly. Words about bride price were spoken. Numbers were mentioned. Hands were shaken. Ada sat there, listening to her future being arranged like a market item. When it was done, Emeka stood up. We will marry next week, he said. Ada's chest tightened. As he turned to leave, Emeka paused. He looked at Ada again, this time longer. "I will not hurt you," he said quietly. He left. Ada sat still long after everyone had gone inside. Her life had been sold, yes, but something about Emeka's words stayed with her. For the first time since her father spoke to her, fear shared space with confusion. And deep inside her, a small, unwanted question formed. What kind of man says so little, yet means so much? The week passed like a slow march. Ada did everything she was told. She greeted people who congratulated her. She answered questions she did not want to hear. Inside her, nothing settled. The wedding day came without joy. Ada was dressed and guided like someone being led to an unknown place. She did not cry. Tears felt too weak for what she carried. When it was over, she followed Emeka to his house. No music followed them. No laughter. Just footsteps and silence. That night, Ada sat on the edge of the bed. Her hands shook. She had heard stories from women. Pain. Fear. Loss of self. She waited for Emeka to speak. He stood by the wall, removed his shoes, and sat on the floor. "You can sleep on the bed," he said. Ada looked up sharply. "I will stay here." She watched him spread a thin mat on the floor. His movements were slow, careful, as if he feared breaking something fragile. "Why?" she asked before she could stop herself. Emeka did not answer immediately. He folded his arms and leaned back. "Because you did not choose this," he said. Ada swallowed hard. "I will not touch you unless you ask me to," he continued. "I don't want fear in this house." Silence returned, heavier now but different. Ada lay down. Her eyes stayed open. She listened to his breathing, steady and calm. No threat lived in it. Minutes passed. Then hours. At some point, she realized she was no longer shaking. Her mind went back to her father's words, the debt, the deal. She thought of how easily people decide the fate of others. She felt anger rise, but it had nowhere to go. She turned slightly and saw Emeka awake, staring at the ceiling. "Do you hate me?" she asked softly. He turned his head. "No," he said. "I hate the way you were brought to me." Ada closed her eyes. Tears slipped out quietly. He did not move closer. He did not pretend not to hear. "I am sorry," Emeka said. "That is all I can offer for now." Ada slept. When she woke later, the room was quiet. Dawn had not come yet. Emeka was still on the floor. She understood then that this marriage was not what she feared. It was not what she hoped for either. But it was something unfamiliar. Respect. For the first time since her life was bargained away, Ada felt something loosen inside her chest. She did not know what would come next. But she knew one thing. That first night did not break her. Morning came quietly. Ada woke before Emeka. For a moment, she forgot where she was. Then she remembered the mat on the floor, the silence of the night, and the words he had spoken. She sat up slowly. Emeka was already awake, folding the mat. "I will fetch water," he said. "Rest." Ada nodded, unsure of what a wife was supposed to do in a house that did not demand her suffering. Days began to follow a pattern. Emeka left early each morning without noise. He did not ask questions. He did not give orders. He returned late, dusty and tired, and washed his hands before greeting her. Ada cooked simple meals. Emeka ate whatever she made without complaint. After eating, he always said, "Thank you." Sometimes, that was the only word they shared all day. Ada noticed things. Emeka never raised his voice. He never complained about lack. He fixed broken things quietly. When money was short, he said nothing and found a way. People noticed too. Women whispered when Ada passed. "See her," they said. She married nothing. Some laughed openly. Others pitied her. Ada carried the words home like heavy loads. She never told Emeka. She did not want to add weight to his silence. One evening, she served him food and sat across from him. "Do you regret this?" she asked. Emeka looked up slowly. "No." "Why?" "Because I chose it," he replied. That answer stayed with her. At night, they slept the same way. Ada on the bed, Emeka on the floor. Sometimes she wanted to tell him to stop, but she did not yet have the courage to change what protected her. Ada began to feel safe, and that frightened her more than fear had. One afternoon, she went to the market. A woman laughed loudly. "Is it true your husband has nothing?" she asked. Ada stood still. Her chest burned. "He has enough," Ada said, surprising herself. She returned home shaken. Emeka noticed her red eyes. "Are you okay?" he asked. Ada hesitated, then nodded. "I am fine." He did not push. That night, as Ada lay awake, she realized something had changed. She no longer counted days like a prisoner. She watched Emeka move around the house and wondered about the man behind the quiet. She did not love him. Not yet. But she respected him. And slowly, without permission, that respect began to grow roots. Respect settled into Ada's life like a habit. She moved around the house with more ease now. The silence no longer scared her. It felt normal. Then one morning, her body failed her. She woke with heat in her bones and pain behind her eyes. When she tried to stand, the room spun. She sat back down, breathing hard. Emeka noticed immediately. "You are not well," he said. "I will be fine," Ada replied, though her voice shook. She tried to cook, but her hands trembled. The pot slipped. Emeka caught it before it hit the floor. "Sit," he said firmly. "Don't argue." Ada sat. By afternoon, she could not lift her head. Her skin burned. Her breath came shallow. She drifted in and out of sleep, hearing Emeka move around the house. He brought water. He wiped her face. He spoke softly, though she could not make out the words. Night came. Ada woke to the sound of her own cough. Emeka was beside her, not too close, but near enough. "You should be resting," she whispered. "I am," he said. "This is where I should be." He placed a wet cloth on her forehead. His hands were steady. At some point, she cried. She did not know why. Fear, weakness, maybe shame. Emeka did not ask questions. He held her hand lightly until she slept again. When she woke, her fever had broken. The pain had softened. Emeka looked worse than she felt. His eyes were red. His clothes were unchanged. "You stayed awake?" she asked. He nodded. "No one has done that for me before," Ada said without thinking. Emeka looked away. Someone should. Later that day, Mama Okri came to check on her. She was surprised to see Emeka washing dishes. "You are a good man," Mama Okri said. Emeka only nodded. When they were alone again, Ada watched him move around the room. She saw care, not duty. Patience, not pride. That night, for the first time, Emeka did not sleep fully on the floor. He leaned against the bed, close enough to hear her breathing. Ada did not ask him to move. As sleep pulled her under, one truth settled clearly in her mind. This man, poor or rich, known or hidden, had chosen her care over his comfort. And that choice changed everything. Ada recovered slowly. Her body healed, but her mind stayed awake. She noticed Emeka more now. Not with fear or doubt, but with attention. He became even quieter after her illness, as if afraid to disturb her strength. Ada, in turn, tried to do more around the house, though he often stopped her. "Rest," he would say. "There is time." One afternoon, Emeka told her he would return late. Ada nodded and watched him leave. The house felt different when he was gone. Too quiet. She decided to clean properly. She moved things she had never touched before. Under the bed, she found a small locked box. It was not hidden, but it was not open either. Ada stared at it for a long moment. She told herself to leave it. But her hands moved on their own. The lock was weak. It opened easily. Inside were papers folded neatly. Documents with stamps. Photos of Emeka in suits she had never seen him wear. A gold ring wrapped in cloth. Cards with foreign names. Her heart began to race. This was not the life of a poor man. Ada sat on the floor and read what she could understand. Company names. Large numbers. Ownership. Power. She closed the box quickly when she heard footsteps. Her hands shook as she pushed it back under the bed. Emeka entered. "You are up," he said. "Yes," Ada replied. Her voice sounded strange to her own ears. She watched him carefully now. The way he stood. The way he spoke. The calm authority she had ignored before. "Are you hungry?" she asked. "No," he said. "Did you eat?" "Yes." They sat in silence. That night, Ada could not sleep. Her mind played with questions. Why had he hidden this? Why marry her? Why live this way? By morning, she had decided. She would not ask. She watched Emeka prepare to leave. "Be careful," she said. He paused. "Always." Days passed. Ada said nothing. She carried the secret like a stone in her chest. People still mocked her. She still heard whispers. Now they sounded foolish. One evening, Emeka returned with bruised hands. Ada cleaned them quietly. "You work too hard," she said. Emeka smiled faintly. "Some things need patience." Ada looked at him and understood something deep. Whatever he was running from, it was not her. The secret did not build distance between them. It built trust. And Ada knew, when the truth finally came out, nothing would ever be the same again. The secret changed how Ada listened to the world. Every insult now sounded empty. Every laugh felt blind. She walked with her head higher, though she said nothing. People noticed. One morning at the well, women gathered as usual. Ada stood quietly, waiting her turn. The whispers started slowly, then grew bold. "Poor woman," one said. "She married silence," another laughed. "At least silence does not eat much," a third added. Ada felt the heat rise in her chest. She kept her eyes down. She had learned to endure. But Emeka had followed her. He had forgotten a tool at home and turned back. He heard the laughter before he saw the faces. Ada reached for her bucket. Her hands shook. "That is enough." The voice was calm but firm. Everyone turned. Emeka stood there, his face unreadable. "If you have words," he continued, "bring them to me. Leave my wife alone." The women froze. No one had ever heard Emeka speak like that. One of them scoffed. "Are you now a man of voice? Or hunger has given you courage?" Emeka stepped forward once. "Respect is free," he said. "But you choose to beg for shame." Silence fell. Ada looked at him, stunned. Her heart beat loudly in her ears. "I may be quiet," Emeka continued, "but I am not weak. And my wife lacks nothing." No one spoke. He turned to Ada. "Come." She followed him home, her legs unsteady. Inside the house, Emeka said nothing. He washed his hands and sat down. Ada stood in the doorway, watching him. "Thank you," she said finally. He nodded. "No one should speak to you that way." That night, Ada could not sleep. She replayed the moment again and again. Not the words, but the certainty behind them. The next day, the village buzzed. People whispered differently now. Some avoided Ada. Others greeted her with care. Emeka noticed. "You caused trouble," Ada said softly. He looked at her. "Peace that needs silence is not peace." Ada smiled for the first time without fear. She knew then that whatever truth Emeka carried, he would not let it harm her. The world had tested him publicly. He had chosen her. And the village would not forget it. The next morning, Ada woke early, her mind restless. Emeka was already awake, sitting by the doorway, sharpening a small knife. The rhythmic sound of steel against stone felt steadying, almost like a heartbeat. She hesitated, then stepped closer. "You didn't have to defend me yesterday," she said softly. Emeka looked up, his eyes steady. "I did. But it's not just about yesterday." Ada frowned. "What do you mean?" He paused, then set the knife down. "There is something I should have told you from the beginning." Her heart skipped. She had expected small secrets, maybe something about his past work, but not this tone. "I'm listening," she said, keeping her voice calm, though her hands trembled. Emeka took a deep breath. "Before we met, before the village knew me, I was involved in something dangerous." Ada's stomach tightened. "Dangerous?" "Yes," he continued. "I belonged to a group, a secret. I did things I shouldn't have." He looked away for a moment, then back at her. "It cost people. I lost people. I lost myself." Ada remained quiet, unsure how to respond. She wanted to ask questions, but something about his voice told her to wait. "I left," he said finally. "I walked away from them. That is why I came here, why I chose this life, simple as it is. And why I agreed to marry you. Because I wanted to protect someone I care about, even if I didn't know it fully before." Ada's eyes widened. "Emeka, why tell me now?" He looked at her, serious and calm. "Because I trust you. And because you deserve the truth, no matter how heavy it is." She swallowed hard, thinking of the quiet man who had defended her, who had shared her life's small moments without complaint. The revelation was bigger than she imagined, but it did not make him smaller. Somehow, it made him more real. "Does that mean danger could come here?" she asked cautiously. Emeka shook his head. "I left that life. But if the past ever finds me, I won't let it touch you." Ada felt tears threaten, but she blinked them back. I don't know what to say." "Then don't say anything," he said. "Just know the truth." She stepped closer and took his hand. His grip was firm, grounding her. For the first time, she understood. The man she married carried burdens she could never imagine. But he carried them quietly, fiercely for her. And in that moment, Ada realized their bond was deeper than marriage. It was trust forged in silence, in defense, and now in revelation. Outside, the village moved on unaware. But inside the little house, two hearts had shifted, stronger, bound by secrets and truths that could no longer be ignored. The past was still there, waiting. But Ada knew one thing clearly. Whatever came, they would face it together. Days passed after Emeka's revelation. The house felt different, heavier, yet more honest. Ada couldn't stop thinking about what he had shared. The quiet mornings, the meals they shared, even the way he laughed while fixing things around the house. All of it now carried a shadow of the truth. But she also felt a strange sense of closeness, like a wall had finally fallen between them. One afternoon, as Emeka returned from the market, Ada met him at the doorway. He was smiling, but she could see the weight behind his eyes. "Emeka, can we talk?" she asked. He nodded, setting down the bags. "Of course." They sat on the small wooden bench outside, the hum of the village around them. Ada took a deep breath. "I've been thinking about everything you told me." She paused. "And I have to make a choice." Emeka's eyes softened, though a hint of worry crept in. "What choice, Ada?" She held his gaze. "To stay. To trust you. Even with your past. I know it wasn't easy to live with, and I know it might not be gone completely. But I want to be with you through it all." Emeka's hand covered hers. His grip was warm, grounding. "Ada, you don't know what that might bring. The past, it's not always quiet. There could be people who want to hurt me, or worse you." She shook her head, steadying her voice. "I know, but I also know that hiding from it won't make it disappear. We can face it together. That's the only way I can stay at peace." For a moment, silence stretched between them. Emeka searched her face, as if seeing her courage for the first time. Then slowly, a small smile broke through. "You're brave," he said softly. "More than I deserve. I've spent so long running from myself, from everyone. But if you are willing to stay, then I will stand with you fully, without holding anything back." Ada felt a wave of relief and warmth wash over her. She knew it wouldn't be easy. Life had a way of testing hearts, but this was a turning point. Their bond was no longer just marriage or duty. It was choice freely made and fiercely defended. Later that evening, as they shared a quiet meal, the air between them felt lighter. Each glance, each touch, carried the weight of truth and the promise of loyalty. The village outside remained unchanged, unaware of the decisions made in this small house. Ada rested her head on Emeka's shoulder, feeling his heartbeat slow to match hers. In that moment, she knew they had crossed a threshold. Whatever storms might come, they had each other. And for the first time, she felt certain that love could be stronger than secrets, stronger than fear. Their choice had been made. And now the path ahead, though uncertain, felt theirs to walk side by side. The weeks after Ada's choice passed quietly but meaningfully. Life slowly regained a rhythm. Emeka's health stabilized, and the tension that had once hovered over the house eased. They worked together in the mornings, shared meals in the afternoons, and at night, Ada would sit by the window while Emeka repaired old furniture or prepared small gifts from wood for neighbors. The house felt alive again, not just with routine, but with understanding, forgiveness, and trust. One evening, as the sun dipped low behind the hills of Enugu, Emeka received a letter. His hands trembled slightly as he opened it, and Ada, curious, leaned over. "It's from my brother," Emeka said slowly. "He's coming back to Enugu." Ada's heart skipped. "After all this time?" Emeka nodded. "Yes. He wants to meet me. He says he understands now." The thought of facing the past again made Emeka uneasy, but Ada reached for his hand. "We'll face it together," she reminded him gently. The day of the meeting arrived. Emeka's brother, Chaik, stood at the compound gate, unsure and cautious. When he saw Emeka, something unspoken passed between them. A lifetime of absence, guilt, and hope wrapped in a single glance. Ada stayed nearby, watching, ready to offer support if needed. Emeka stepped forward, extending his hand. "Chaik." Chaik shook it firmly, his eyes glistening. "Emeka, I should have come sooner. I was wrong to leave, to let you handle everything alone. I'm sorry." Emeka's voice caught, but he held his composure. It's over now. We've survived. We've moved forward." Ada smiled softly, feeling the tension ease. The two brothers embraced, and for the first time in years, there was no bitterness between them, only reconciliation. That evening, they all sat together, sharing stories of the past, of struggles and regrets, and of small victories. Ada realized that the return wasn't just about Chaik. It was about Emeka reclaiming a part of himself he had lost to fear and secrecy. And in that moment, she saw a man whole again, finally free from the shadows that had haunted him. As night fell, Ada and Emeka stepped outside, the cool air brushing their faces. "The past has returned," Ada whispered. "But it's not controlling us anymore." Emeka pulled her close. "No, and it never will. Because now we choose each other every day." Hand in hand, they walked back inside. The house, once heavy with secrets, now carried the warmth of forgiveness and love. The road ahead might still have challenges, but they would face them together, undaunted, united, and unafraid. The return had brought closure, but more importantly, it had cemented their future. And in that certainty, Ada knew they were ready for whatever came next. And that's the end of today's tale. We hope it brought a smile, a thought, or a little bit of magic to your day. If you enjoyed this story, please like the video, subscribe to Tales Vibe for more weekly tales, and tell us in the comments where you're watching from. We love hearing from our story family all around the world. Until next time, keep your heart open, your imagination alive, and remember, laughter and lessons always go hand in hand. See you in the next story.